not the most exciting cars on the planet. They're mostly designed to get folks from point A to point B with a minimal amount of fuss. It's not very often that a sedan comes along and tugs at the old excitement strings of my heart, but enter the 2018 Hyundai Sonata. Heavily revised for 2018, the Sonata surprised me with its good looks and impressive powertrain. You can get a Sonata with a 2.4-liter engine, good for about 185 horsepower, but the fine folks over at Hyundai, they sent me the top-of-the-line limited trim with a 2-liter turbo, made it to a brand new 8-speed automatic transmission, and me likey. There's a few different driving modes, including Sport, Comfort, or Eco, or there's also the new Smart mode, which is kind of like a combination of all three. So Eco when you want it, Sport when you need it. I was really hoping that this might kind of mitigate my heavy right foot and get me close to that EPA fuel rating of 26 combined, but I'm only getting about 23. The rear suspension and the steering have been revised for 2018, resulting in a Sonata that is really responsive and handles really well. I mean, torque steer? No, there's none of that. Twisty attacker? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I always wish for a little bit more road feel, but the steering is weighted really well, and there's no kind of understeer, you know, like when you turn and then the car doesn't and keeps going straight. Yeah, there's none of that. And this 8-speed automatic transmission is a joy. I mean, it downshifts eagerly when you're coming out of corners. It holds the revs just a touch longer, and that's in comfort mode. I mean, when you put it into sport, then you get a quicker throttle response. Comfort mode is no slouch, but sport is really, really fun. And there's even paddle shifters, you know, if you want to like really get into it. But honestly, this transmission does so well on its own, I just let it do its thing. Welcome to a deep dive into the technology and driver's aids of the 2018 Hyundai Sonata. Now, let's start with the infotainment system. I really like the BlueLink system. It's easy to navigate, it's got great graphics, and it doesn't really get in its own way too much. There's a few different ways that you can access all the information. There's a set of redundant buttons down here, or you can just press all menus, and there you can cycle through and select your navigation, your phone, your radio, what have you. But one of the coolest things is this My Menu, where I can kind of preset all the things that I use the most. So I'm going to add my Alphys navigation, add, yes, boom. Next time I want to go to work, all that information is right there. Another cool thing is the inclusion of Google Local Search for easy one-box entry. It's a lot easier than trying to find the address, blah, blah, blah. Instead, just enter something like car wash, ice cream, Chipotle, and all that information comes up easy peasy. Of course, you're probably just gonna use your phone for navigation, right? Because that's what we all do. Well, no worries, because Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both standard. And since you've got a phone, you're probably going to need to charge it. There is Qi wireless charging for phones that support that technology. Otherwise, there are two 12-volt outlets as well as a USB up front and a USB for the second row passengers. Now, when it comes to standard driver's aids, the Hyundai is not quite as up to snuff as, say, Honda or Toyota. Sure, there's technology like blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert as well as lane change assist. Those are all standard across every Sonata. But the good stuff like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, as well as automatic emergency braking, those are only standard on this top-of-the-line limited 2-liter turbo. They're not available at all on the trim line below, and they're only options on the rest of the Sonatas. Come on, Hyundai, this stuff should be standard. But if you happen to pony up for those driver's aids, they are really good. The new lane keeping assist gives you a warning if you happen to drift out of the lane and then will gently guide you back in. It's a very, very subtle system, and I really like it. Adaptive cruise control is awesome for stop and go traffic. It works well at low speeds, and it will bring you to a full stop behind the car in front of you and will even give you a pause of about 3 seconds or more before it disengages. This 2-liter turbocharged engine carries over from 2017, and I am A-OK with that. 245 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. It's got more than enough oomph to get you up and over where you want to go. Freeway merging is easy. I mean, it's just really, really fun. And all these mechanical revisions are accompanied by aesthetic revisions as well. Hyundai calls their new front end a cascading grille, which, I mean, I don't really see any waterfalls, but it's nice to have a more aggressive front end. LED daytime running lights are standard, and LED headlights and taillights are optional. One thing I really like is a soft touch button hidden inside the Hyundai logo to open up the trunk. It's a pretty cool little feature. And on the whole, I mean, in the past, Hyundai's gotten some flack for being a little bit lower on the quality level, but you won't see it in this Hyundai. All the materials are high quality, the design is really good. This is a sedan to beat. The 2018 Hyundai Sonata starts at about $22,000 for a base SE with the 2.4-liter engine, but my top-of-the-line Limited here with the 2-liter turbo, that tops out at $32,450. Now that's a huge price jump to be sure, but it still offers you plenty of value and a lot of fun.